All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Hakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at GMS. Peace, honor, and respect to you brothers that's out there laboring, edifying, rightly dividing the word, the truth, and sincerity. And Shalom to you believers out there, the Aki and Wa'akwa. And what I wanted to get into, what I wanted to get into with this lesson is, the power of the tongue. When to speak, when not to speak. Basically, a lot of lessons. And brothers went into this lesson, but we have to learn, that our tongue have power. Like the saying goes, loose lips sink ships, man. All right, we got to know when to speak up, and we got to know when to just chill back and be silent. All right, that's whether it be in your household, whether it be at work, everyday life. It's a lot of people that's in the ground due to what they say, due to their mouth. All right, and this is things that we just gotta learn for real, me myself included. You know, not talking too much. All right, not you know, saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. James 3, starting at I'm gonna start at verse 3. It says, "Behold, we put bits in the horse's mouth that they may obey us when we turn about their whole body. Behold, also the ships, which though they be so great and are driven of fierce winds, yet they are turned about with a very small helm, whithersoever the governor listeth. Even so the tongue is a little member, okay, and boast of great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindle." Yeah, so, your mouth can get you in trouble. Another saying is what? Your mouth can, your mouth wrote a check that your ass can't cash, okay? Again, the power of the tongue. In, in reverse of that, in contrary to that, the power you can speak good things, you know, and it will ultimately, you know, uh, create something. If you always, a perfect example, if you always calling yourself stupid or dumb or ugly, well, you know, how the mind feel, all right, that's what it's going to speak out. And what you speak out, you could actually cause yourself to um, bring certain things upon you with your mouth, okay? So what I'm saying is, if you always calling yourself stupid, calling yourself ugly, saying bad things about yourself, ultimately, you know, you will feel bad about yourself. You will not treat yourself good. You won't eat good, meaning you won't eat good. All right, you won't, you know, do things necessary to keeping yourself, keeping your body up because, you know, how you think. Uh, Most of it, how you think, that's what you're gonna say. What you say could, ultimately alter your mind, alter what you do. Just like when you speak good things. Like if you say the Lord gonna heal me, all right, you praying the Lord gonna heal me. Um, the Lord, telling the Lord good thing, guide my steps, this, that, and the fourth in prayer. All right, speaking it out your mouth. It's coming from your mind to your mouth. All right, but when you speak good things, I should say like, it's power in the tongue, man. Basically, speak good things. I'm gonna get this new job. I'm gonna get my new place. I'm gonna get my new car. Just that's on a carnal level, but just an example. All right, but the power of the tongue. You can speak yourself into a damn fight. You can speak yourself into some damn gun violence. Talk your way into jail. Cop pull you over. You pretty cool. You give them your license, your registration. You answer what they ask you, and you could be going home. Sometimes, most of the time, when people get belligerent, what do? They start talking shit. Fuck you! I know my rights and I know the laws and da 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 da. And guess what? Now the officer is like, okay, taking you to jail, or I'm impounding your car, or I was just gonna write you a warning, but now I'm gonna give you a ticket, whatever. Okay. So I want to get this. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 12, verse 22. It says, "Lying lips are abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. Even we have to be careful how we speak, teaching his word. Okay? We have to be careful how we teach this word because we have people what? Listening. All right? Listening to the words that's coming out of our mouth. We have to be careful about that. Let's get Titus, and that's why somebody, a lot of our grandmas or mothers or aunts or uncles, whoever go to church for 30 years, and they still don't come into the true knowledge. Why? Because it's what the pastor is speaking. Now, ultimately, we know it's Yahweh Bashem Yahushua who's guiding, who's at the steering wheel. All right, but is what these pastors and preachers are teaching, man. What your relatives are listening to. Titus 1:10 say for there are many unruly, vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision. See, let me do this. Let me take these highlights off real quick. So they say what is for there are many unruly, vain talkers. All right, talkers, man, and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, those who know they Israelites, the teachers, the people that's in the fold, that's in the know, whose mouths must be stopped. Why? Because of what they talking about. All right, it's power in the tongue. Who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake. Right. All right, and that's a cut. Because when you go up in the verse, it's talking about the qualifications of the elders, the bishop. All right, not giving the filthy lucre's sake, and not lucre sake. And I can think about, Bishop T.D. Jakes. What do he teach for? Filthy lucre's sake. All right. A lot of these so-called bishops and these elders and these teachers, man, they teach. It's been found just like he wasn't calling himself an elder or a bishop, but you had Chief Priest Alazar, man, from formerly from Sakari. Yeah, he ain't teaching no more. He done toast. Why? Cause the money dried up. Filthy lucre say he can't make no more money off you people that was following him, giving him money, and now he abandoned y'all, man. He jumped ship. All right. It's a lot of Israelites that teach for money, man. A lot of them, especially in these mad the IUIC and all of them who making all that ton of money. Man, if you take that money away, they probably wouldn't even teach no more. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them guys, man. If they wasn't getting that money, if they wasn't able to get this dough, they wouldn't teach no more. But back to the point, it says whose mouths must be stopped, man. Why? Because it's power in the tongue. It's power what you teach somebody with the words that's coming out your mouth. It's power what you tell somebody when you're giving somebody instructions, direction. All right? Somebody asks you, okay, which way is the store, and you give them the wrong directions. Well, they ain't gonna ever find that store. Okay, why? Because of what you spoke out your mouth. All right, just like let's go back to James. We ended off at verse 5. It says, "So even so, the tongue is a little member, and boasts of great things. Behold, now great a matter, a little kindle, a little fire kindle, and the tongue is a fire, a word of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members." Okay, so the tongue ain't very big, compared to your feet, your hands, all right, your arms, your legs, your thighs, okay, your head. The tongue is, is one of the smaller members. But guess what? Let's read this. And the tongue is a fire, a word of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body and setteth on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire of hell. Okay, so somebody can just be yapping and yapping, speaking foolishness, and bring foolishness upon them. All right, you got people who what got they always talking behind people's back. You got gossipers. You can't tell them nothing. They can't what they say. They can't hold water. You tell them a secret. You tell them something, and they tell somebody, man. We're gonna get in the scriptures about that. All right. People don't like people like that who always just gotta run their mouth. You tell them something secret, and then here they is. They going back. Even if they just tell one person, you told them not to tell nobody. Now they going back telling. You know what I'm saying? Somebody. It says, for every kind of beast and of birds and of serpents and of the things of the sea is tamed and have been tamed of mankind, but the tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil full of deadly poison, right? Okay? So when you go to Proverbs, let's go back to Proverbs chapter 15, it says what? A soft answer turneth away wrath, right? You knowing when to hold them, when to fold them, okay? Like you can be in an altercation with somebody and say the wrong thing, and now things get violent. You, somebody might put hands on you. They might shoot you. They might pull a knife out on you. Whatever. Or you can be in the altercation, as far as with words, and then you can tone your words down. You can speak different words, and it can deter that person to be like, okay, I'm gonna just go my way. You know. Or you could be, what I'm saying, talking too much and offend somebody, man. Okay? We got another thing we got to be careful about what we post on the social media. All right? What we say on social media, what we comment. And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost because I done been guilty of that. You might see a post or something going, something off, and then you comment on it. But hey, little do you know who you might be offending. Even if you're right in what you're saying, you could be right in what you're saying, but you can offend somebody, and they can want to take it to the next level. Because a lot of people have been fired from their jobs from that. They say something on social media, the person go to their profile, look them up, look where they work, and show their supervisor or boss things that they commented, and now they fired. You know what I'm saying? That has happened, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm bringing this lesson out because I'm pretty sure this gonna be able to hit somebody. You know, it says a soft way turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. Yeah, again, you can be in the right, but sometimes you just don't have to say something. Sometimes you don't gotta say things. All right. It says the tongue of the wise uses knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. Right. Okay. Let me see. Let me see what that's saying in NLT. It says, the tongue of the wise make knowledge appealing, but the mouth of a fool bleaches out foolishness. Yeah, talking too much, man. Always got to say something. Always got to throw in your 2 cents. Always got to come back with a smart ass remark or, you know, always just gotta be yapping. All right. Nobody don't like nobody like that, man. All right. So let's go here to let's go down Proverbs 15:23. All right, because just like you can cause bad things to happen with what you say, you can cause good things to happen with what you say. It says in verse 23, a man have joy by the answer of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season. How good is it? Okay, let me get that in the NLT. It says, everyone's enjoys a fitting reply. It is wonderful to say the right thing at the right time. Yeah. Okay, so you know hey man, if you speak the right thing at the right time, it can make people laugh. You know, you might say a joke at the right time, and people laugh. You might say something at the right time when people might have been wondering about, something, and then you say something and put, knowledge to the situation, and everybody like, okay, you know, somebody could have been having a bad day, then you speak some words of encouragement to them, and now they pepped up and they feel like, okay, I got hope in this situation. Whereas before he told me this or she told me this, I felt hopeless about a situation. I felt down about it. I felt sad about it. But after hearing what you said, that person that's speaking the good thing in due season now is better for them, man. Okay, let's go to Proverbs 12 and 25. It says, heaviness in the heart of a man maketh it stoop, but a good word maketh it glad. Yeah, again. Let's see this in the NLT. It says worries weigh a person down. An encouraging word cheer a person up. Yeah, the worries of what? This life, man. The worries of bills, kids, finances, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then here you come. You might, give them a perspective. a perspective, especially of experience, and now they might be like, oh man, that just lifted me up. I can do this. Okay? You might tell them about a job opportunity, a money opportunity. Now they feel like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Like I was down and out. Now, he told me about this opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And now you feel better. You might tell them it could be that, or again, to just encouraging words. You could tell them about a situation that you had similar. You can speak some life into somebody. Okay, whoever it may be. Okay, you can give them encouraging words. You can give them good advice. Okay, and it cheers them up. Okay, so the tongue is very, 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 very powerful, man. All right, and we gotta learn in the truth to use it wisely. All right, we gotta know when to be like, all right, let me zip it, and then when to speak up. Sometimes it's good to speak up on a situation. Somebody can be getting did wrong or whatever, and and now you silent, and that could be just as bad as saying something bad, cause you ain't say nothing at all. All right, so it's a time to speak up, in a situation, whether it be for yourself or for somebody else. It could be that time where it's like, no, it's time for you to speak up for yourself because this thing is happening, or even speak up for somebody that you know, whether it be a child, a friend, your spouse, a coworker. It's time to speak up because these things are happening. All right, but just like it's time to be quiet, you know, you might see something off or hear something off. Every time ain't a time to just add your 2 cents. Again, you never know who you might offend, and you could be totally in the right. You could be at work, you could hear something off. A lot. I had to learn this. I'm still learning. I'ma say, but I had to learn that too. Like sometimes people be at work and they be speaking, and they be off, and you know. So I had to learn to just be like, let them have it. It ain't for me to say. You know. Sometimes these women be talking, you know, and they be talking about, situations about men and women, and I'll be like, I ain't even gonna interject. You know what I'm saying? Because although I might be in the right with what I'm saying, it's the wrong time. Okay, and I can offend somebody. You know what I'm saying? I'm at work and somebody can get offended. Now they want to go to HR, and now all that stuff. So, we just gotta learn how to, you know, deal with the power of that tongue, whether it be in a good way or in a bad way. We gotta learn to know when to zip it and when to go ahead and speak up. Now I want to get this before I end this lesson, and I want to get this in the GNT. All right, this is let's show you. This is Ecclesiasticus Sirach 27. All right, and I'm starting at verse 16 in the GNT. It says, "If you repeat secrets that have been told to you, you are destroying the confidence of others. You're destroying the confidence others have in you, and you will never have a close friend." That's so true. You're a gossiper. When people know you're a gossiper, they ain't gonna tell you nothing. All right, I know somebody like that. They gossip a lot. Again, they can't hold water a lot of times. And let's say when there's something going on, people know not to tell this person until it's time to be revealed. You know what I'm saying? A gossiper. You tell them something, they gotta tell somebody. No, nobody like that, man. All right. It says, and that's just go for anybody. So say like even the people that you be telling the secrets to, they'll learn how to deal with you off of that. Like, you told me that secret. If you always that person that's like, man, let me tell you something. You know what I'm saying? But don't say nothing. If you that person always, or you know somebody like that, let's say you know somebody like that, you ain't gonna tell them nothing. Why? Because you know they might expose your secrets because they always exposing secrets. Verse 17, respect your friends and keep faith with them. If you do betray a friend's confidence, you might as well forget you had that friend. Yeah, so once you tell that friend's secret, I ain't talking about nothing light. You know what I'm saying? We talking about real secrets, man. All right? That friend, you might as well forget about them. They ain't gonna never mess with you. All right? And depending on what you say and what you told, again, they might want to lay hands on you. They might want to do something to you. Okay? Verse 18, you have killed that friendship just as surely as if you have taken a weapon and killed the enemy. Yeah, that friend done. They done with you. You exposed too much. You talk too much. your friend is gone. You can no more get them back than you can get a bird to come back to your hand once you let it go. Yeah. All right. Even like you know, a person can forgive and move on, but they don't forget. So let's say you told a secret, it's been 5, 6, 7 years, and that person, that person see you, and now they, whereas y'all wasn't on speaking terms, they might speak to you, but guess what? That relationship probably more than likely ain't gonna never be the same, because that person ain't forgot that that secret you told that might have humiliated them, all right, that might have put them at odds with somebody, because you telling the secret. Now the secret got back to somebody, and they already, that put them at odds. That might have did something in their life where it was like that was the reason why they was telling you to keep it a secret. Okay, verse 20. It says, "Don't bother going after them. It's too late. He is gone, like a deer escaped from a trap. Wounds can be bandaged, and insults can be forgiven. But if you betray a confidence, it is hopeless." Right. So yeah, somebody get cut, you can wrap it up in due time. That cut stop bleeding, it's gonna heal. And even if you insult somebody, all right. Again, that's the power of the tongue. Depending on the insult, you speak it too much, you can, what they say, you can cut too deep with an insult, and then that person, you know what I'm saying. But let's say you just, you might have insulted somebody. Maybe you gave them a little constructive criticism. Sometimes that can kind of feel like an insult in a way, but after a while, a person might be like, okay, that might come to you later. Yeah, I'm glad you said that to me. But the confidence, meaning, all right, look, you told them something, somebody was pouring their heart out to you in sincerity and told you to kind of keep it between you and them because y'all had that relationship, and now you told somebody and people know, guess what? That ain't coming back. That confidence in them, you know, um, uh, telling you things that's dear to them ain't coming back. The confidence in your relationship and them knowing that you're a good friend and they can trust you, that's not coming back. So, hey man, the power of the tongue, man. You know, I just wanted to put that out there. Lord willing, it was edifying, and hey, we gotta take heed of that. Till the next time, shalom, shalom.